Good afternoon, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and I bring you all 2022 ban list for the OCG. I know we just had our TCG ban list, but these cards seem insane. Some of these cards are just following up on what we did, like bringing it back Telemias, the Satellar Knight XYZ back to 1, and Change Your Heart and things like that. But other cards are just insane on this list. I don't think this list is going to come out for a long time in the TCG, my personal opinion, because I believe there's like 2 lists we're behind. Because I believe the last list, they hit all the Isiju cards. They haven't even hit the Isiju's cards yet in the TCG because they just came out when they're already hitting it. Actually, they hit it before it even came out. So personally, I think this murder list that we have for Siege tier elements won't be coming out until a little later. Probably not this ban list, but the ban list after, and maybe the ban list after that. Possibly. I definitely don't think the Kashtira hits is going to happen anytime soon. That deck hasn't even got its second wave of support yet. And this list already limited Fenrir and Unicorn, which is insane. But let's just look at this list and just go over it. So first things first, Tier Element is dead. Like, no joke, they murdered this deck in like all the wrong ways. They banned Kikalos, which is just the nail in the coffin. Sheeran's at 1, Rhino Heart's at 1. I believe they already had Happiness at 1. I mean, that means every Tier Element name besides Merly is at 1. And I don't even know if Merly could be at 1. I just remember Happiness was put on the last list. So that's insane. You're telling me this archetype got Dragon Rulered, honestly. Not gonna lie. The field spell's at 1. The fusion's banned. Well, they have 3 fusions, but one of the main starter fusions is banned. 3 out of 4 monsters in the archetype's limited. Like, holy shit, you really didn't want people to play tier elements anymore. Well, this is the way to do it. I don't know if it will ever be this extreme. I can definitely see the tier elements banning Kikalos and having all the other guys at 3. Because I don't know if it's that potent without Kikalos. It's hard to do any of your plays without that card. So I think they just really murdered it in the OCG. My personal opinion. And the barrier statue got banned, which is great because Flu is now a fair deck. Don't get me wrong, Macro is still a thing. D-Fissure is still a thing. And Dimension Shifter is still a thing. And not to mention that little penguin guy is a little annoying. And plus the trap card at Book of Moons. Plus the Mega Stormforce Monarch is crazy. So don't get it twisted. This deck is still pretty strong. Definitely compared to Tier Elements now because of this ban list. But the Stormwinds was just the unfair card. Don't get me wrong. To the other matchups, everyone said Shifter was the issue. People said, no, it's the Harpy's Trap that's the issue. Personally, it's always been how consistent this barrier statue is. How annoying it is. You can't just normal something out to beat it. This barrier statue has been an issue forever. The field spell protects it. The penguin protects it. The trap card that they set off End Pen protects it. It really is just a really unfair card. And I'm glad it's finally banned. It definitely makes Flu a much more fairer deck. And definitely something to pick up. Because if this is the only Flu hit we ever get, deck's still great. Deck's still fantastic. Let's continue with the limits. Again, I don't think Fenrir and Unicorn's going to be limited. That literally murders. And their field spell got limited too. The field spell hasn't even came out yet for us. There's no way in hell the next list, which I think is in January, is going to hit Kashtira, period. We just got Macro and D-Fish back to 3. We think we're going to have Kashtira's hit now? That's insane. Seriously. There's no way in hell to do that. Other cards. They are following with the TCG, where I guess, what's it called? Change of Heart is on their list, which is great. Steam the Cloak's on their list because I think Halk's banned, which is cool. We have Ancient Fairy Tale Dragon, which shout out to my ABC players. That card actually was banned because of them. It's one of the only actual ban cards on the ban list that was due to ABCs. And Ancient Fairy Tale Dragon is a very, very powerful card. Yes, they made it once per turn, but still insanely good card. I'm glad it's back with an errata, of course. Personally, even with the errata, I think Ancient Fairy Tale at 1 is still an insanely good card. No joke. This card not only just gives you another free level 4 on the field, but it also just switches out field spells. For decks that play multiple field spells like ABC, which can play the Furion package, this card is just insanely good for them. This card literally just says, hey, special summon ABC piece, replace your field spell, Union Hanger, or Furion card with Union Hanger and just pop off. This card gives those types of decks with 2 field spells insane potential. FAs were cut short just due to the fact that Ancient Fairy Tale Dragon was banned. Because that's a deck that shifts through field spells like no one's business. Now don't get me wrong, I don't think they're going to be good even after Ancient Fairy Tale comes back. But don't get me wrong, they had the potential for greatness. If they decided to print out new FA stuff, who knows? But let's just go on to the semi-limits. The Orcus Link 2 is back. Cool. We have it at 3 in the TCG. That does nothing for us. Whatever. I don't know if they have Harper banned or not in the OCG, so we'll find out there. So that could be big news. It could not be big news. Semi-limited, not totally awesome. Swap Frog. Swap Frog's at 3 in the TCG. If it goes down to 2 copies, that literally does nothing against, like, they're literally only playing like 2 or 3 copies anyway in Splight. So now it just means they brick if they draw 2 copies of Frog. And even then, I don't think it's a brick because Frog can pitch Frog, make a Link to, reborn the Frog. I don't think it's a brick of 2. I think, honestly, they either put that thing to 1 or they just ban it altogether. They really want to stop Splight from having the toe package. Just ban Swap Frog. There you go. Next card. They have Kagari. Sky Striker Kagari to 2. I don't think that's a big deal. We have it at 3. Does nothing. The Bistils is still a thing. Which I forgot to mention. The Bistils, Magnamoo went to 1. I can definitely see Magnamoo going to 1. Especially due to the fact that Magnamoo is going to be searching the new Bisted monster, which is also not only a quick effect DD Crow, but it's also a pop quick effect, which is just insane. So I think Magnamoo, out of all the Bisteds, even Lubellion, I think it's the one that definitely needs to be hit to 1, so I'm okay with that. Foolish Burial Goods to 2, whatever, it's at 3. Now, Lightning, let's not like some Raigeki at 2, nah. And, of course, we have 3 copies of both Raigeki and the, Trickstar Field spell, and that does nothing for us. So, really, really cool cards. But now we gotta talk about the most important semi-limit, which is, the Archfiend Launcher. This card is insane for Infernoid. Not Infernoid, Infernity, my apologies. Infernity is going to be insane with 2 Launcher. Do you know, if that deck gets full power, that shit is going to be looping crap for days. They're getting a new spell card literally next set. The new continuous spell. I don't know if it's going to do anything for Infernity, if we'll put them on a map, but in a format where everything's up in the air, like when it comes to viability, like what's the best deck, Infernity could squeak its way in there. I can definitely see that. Definitely a really, really good card. And it has the potential to definitely shake up the meta. I don't know if I really want an Infernity meta. Because Infernity, if you don't know, is a loop deck. It's kind of like Six Sams. Where they just loop their cards into infinity. Because none of them are hard once per turns. And they basically just set up like 3 Solemn Judgments plus like 5 negates. It's really stupid. So I'm not really looking forward to if Infernity Launcher pushes this deck over the edge. I don't think it will, but who knows? Who knows what will happen? So we'll see. And then finally, for no longer on the list, just a whole bunch of cards that we still have at 3 in the TCG, but for some reason limited in the OCG. For example, ABC Buster Dragon could be on 3 for the longest time. We literally got Double Iris like a couple sets ago back to 3. The Brave Engine is literally doing nothing right now, but it's going to start doing stuff later. So, Brave Engine, that's back. Water Enchantress is back at 3. I didn't mention the water Enchantress, the water spell. That was at 2 in the, oh, it was at 1 in the OCG. Now it's at 2. But whatever. The water, like I said, Brave is not doing anything right now, just because there isn't really a deck to abuse it. But with Tier Elements dead and Flu dead, could we see the Brave engine come back? Absolutely. I really don't want it to. I really hate that engine because Griffin Rider is annoying. But I think if you really don't want Brave to be good, just ban Griffin Rider. You can have everything else at 3. That's just my opinion. But whatever. What's it called? Scales for Phantom Knight Scales. Again, we have it at 3. Does nothing. Really, really powerful archetype. Definitely can squeeze in while everyone's in chaos right now in the OCG. Phantom Knights can definitely squeeze in some wins. And of course, Eldritch got their Sanguine back to 3, which is also really, really nice. So that's it for the list. Really, really interesting cards. I think the most notable cards is how much they hit Kashtira and how much they hit Tier Elements. Like, they literally murdered that archetype. Like, I almost, like, if I'm correct, I am in Hoffiness is literally at 1 as well. They literally turned this archetype into Dragon Rulers. Like, they modern day Dragon Rulers this deck, which is insane. But that's it. I hope you all enjoy. Take care. See ya.